Okay, so we have some rather interesting news that's been going around the internet since around March in regards to a new Smash-like game. And I know what you're thinking, that's not Square Enix related, that's not Final Fantasy or Capcom. Why are you talking about a Smash-like game on your channel? Well, turns out it might kind of be related to a certain JRPG company that a lot of us are big fans of. So, if any of that sounds intriguing to you, feel free to click the like button. And if you're new around here and you want to stick around for some gaming news, some Final Fantasy stuff, and even some Capcom stuff here and there, feel free to subscribe as well. So back in March on Reddit, there was some rumors flying around in regards to a game called Disney Domination, which is supposed to be a Smash-like game. Now, so many different companies over the years have tried to make their own Smash-like game. Most of them have all failed because trying to recreate the magic of a Super Smash Bros. In terms of its gameplay and its roster and just overall charm and appeal is next to impossible. The closest anyone has gotten to that success was probably Multiverses, which launched last year and was incredibly successful. It was an open beta, which I didn't know. I thought it was the full game coming out, but it was an open beta. There was millions upon millions of active registered users playing every single day, all day, which is pretty insane. The game since then has dropped off pretty hard though, and it actually did get shut down in order for the developers to really retool the game, and supposedly it's going to be coming back at a later date. Whether or not it does, I don't know, because again, the game dropped off really hard. So trying to do a Smash-like game is incredibly difficult, and it looks like Disney is throwing their hat in the ring to try and make their own Smash-like game with this Disney Domination project. Now, before we get into the details here, there are some leaked screenshots from this game. I will not put them in the video, and I won't even link them in the description below for fear of Disney striking my channel. And if you think Nintendo is bad when it comes to striking people's channels, wait till you meet Disney. They will strike my channel down with the fury of 1,000 Donald Ducks casting Zeta Flare. And I like my channel, I like making videos, so I don't want to risk that. So this information comes to us from Insider Gaming, so if you want to find it, it's pretty easy to find, and you can look those things up yourself. And again, don't worry, the reason why we're talking about it we'll get to in just a second. So, the game is rumored to have 55 characters at launch, which is pretty huge for a Smash-like game. It's going to be spread across a single-player campaign. There's going to be like 60 stages. Visually, it's supposed to look like, they're describing, looks like something out of Unreal Engine 5, and it's supposed to be edgy. Now, the word edgy is obviously not a good word, and describing the visuals of your game as edgy, I think is a really bad idea. But having seen the screenshots, I get what they're going for. It's less of an edgy kind of vibe and more of just a darker, hyper-realistic tone that they're going for, and I think that would have been a better description for the visuals in this game. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this and the reason why you're all probably here, and again, take this with a heavy pinch of salt, the game is being developed by Square Enix. Now again, that's not confirmed, it's just a rumor, but apparently Square Enix might be involved in this game, which is why I am talking about it. Now the game itself is supposed to be a pretty big AAA game that's been in development since 2018. It started off as a passion project with about 25 people working on it and has since ballooned up to 240 developers. There's been tons of information in regards to the roster, including Star Wars characters and Marvel characters, because again, this is Disney. They happen to own a lot of IPs, and even if you aren't talking about Marvel and Star Wars, the list of pretty iconic legendary characters from Disney alone is pretty massive. So now you throw in the superheroes and you throw in the Star Wars stuff, it's ballooned to be even bigger. And I'm talking about it, of course, because Square Enix may be involved. And I think it'd be kind of interesting because Square Enix hasn't really had the best track record when it comes to developing games that are outside of the RPG or action genre. They haven't always gone well. Anyone remember Irgi's God Bless the Ring? Weird game. I happen to like it, but it wasn't the greatest. So Square throwing their hat in the ring and developing this game is really interesting to me. I'd be curious to see what development team in Square Enix is allegedly developing this game. That's going to really kind of set the tone going forward. But also, if Square Enix is actually developing this game, there's a chance that they could include their own roster of characters in the game, whether they be like special edition DLC characters or if they're built into the base roster. I think it would be a huge missed opportunity not to include a roster of Square Enix characters in this game. And when I say Square Enix, I'm talking Final Fantasy. I mentioned Final Fantasy and probably even Kingdom Hearts because those are, I would think, the two most popular Square Enix brands out there. You've of course got Dragon Quest and stuff like that as well, but I think most people tend to think of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. So imagine having a roster that has those Disney characters of Marvel, Star Wars, the Disney princesses, duking it out with Final Fantasy characters. You could have Vivi versus Donald Duck, Thanos versus Sephiroth. There's a lot of really cool and interesting ideas going on here, and with it being rumored that Square Enix is developing this game and throwing their hat in the ring to develop a Smash-like game has me really intrigued, because again, trying to create a Smash-like game is rather difficult. And it's also kind of interesting because Square Enix characters already exist in the world of Super Smash Bros. We've got Cloud and Sephiroth already in the latest Smash Bros. Ultimate game as playable characters. And going forward, there's no word on if they're going to reboot Super Smash Bros. And bring that back, because I would think if they did, characters like Cloud and Sephiroth probably wouldn't come back. It would probably be way too expensive to bring them back. So who knows, that's all really kind of up in the air. So I just thought this was rather interesting news, since Square Enix is rumored to be linked to it. Possibilities in regards to roster, throwing some Final Fantasy characters in there would be really cool. And if this game has been in development since 2018, there's a chance that we could see it relatively soon. It is rumored to apparently launch within the second half of 2024. So, and in our last story today, Game Informer has announced that Final Fantasy XVI will be their cover game for their May issue of the magazine. Now, what's cool about this is there's going to be two different magazines, one that has Clive and Ifrit on the front, and on the back it will have Joshua and Phoenix. And this key art is really beautiful. It's not too crazy or over the top, but it's got both characters and their respected icons behind them in this really smoky, hazy, war-torn battlefield. It's really beautiful and really well done. And what's cool here is apparently there's something called a Game Informer Gold subscription. It's been a long time since I've been subscribed to a Game Informer magazine, so I do not know how any of this works, but I'm assuming it's probably a more expensive tier of subscription for the magazine. But that one is going to have Joshua and Phoenix on the front and Clive and Ifrit on the back, with a embroidered metallic gold Game Informer logo on the front. Now this is going to be a collector's item, and each of these magazines are going to be numbered as well. So if you're a huge Final Fantasy XVI fan and you're super excited and you want to get your hands on everything related to this game, you'll have to find out a way to get that gold cover and pay the subscription price so you can collect both of these magazines. Now again, their coverage goes live on May 22nd on the digital side, and I also think that May 22nd is the day that the embargo lifts for all of the YouTubers and influencers who actually got to visit Square Enix and play Final Fantasy XVI. So people like Maximilian Dude, the Easy Allies, Blitz. I would assume the Night Sky Prince has also gotten a chance to play the game. I don't know if he's confirmed whether or not he has played the game, but I believe that's the day that all of those people will be releasing their preview videos, giving hands-on impressions on Final Fantasy XVI. Now, I don't think I'll be covering the Game Informer stuff, and I probably won't be covering the YouTuber influencer stuff either, because it's just kind of redundant. And no one's gonna want to watch me do a preview of someone else's preview who actually got to play the game. They're gonna go straight to the source. They're gonna watch Maximilian Dude's video or the Night Sky Prince or Easy Allies, so it doesn't really make sense for me to cover that stuff. I'm just someone who's speculating on stuff I've watched. And historically, my preview videos, especially for Final Fantasy XVI, unfortunately just do not do well. Nobody clicks on those to watch them, which kind of sucks, because the last preview video I did, I really worked hard on and I was really proud of, and I thought it kind of came together really nicely, and I thought I did a good job with my script and my voiceover. So anyway, May 22nd, I believe, is when all of this stuff is going to be kicking off, so you can look forward to some more Final Fantasy XVI info coming on that date. What more can they share? I genuinely do not know. We know a ton about this game already, and it's right around the corner. It's just a few short weeks away, so that's something for everyone to look forward to. And with that being said, that is the video. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this whole Disney domination platform fighter that might be developed by Square Enix? And what do you guys think of this Game Informer cover for Final Fantasy XVI? Let me know in the comments down below. I am Curious Corduroy. I will see you guys in the next video. Please remember to always be excellent to one another.